EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for July 27th, 2020. Good to be back from vacation after spending last week in the Ocean City, Maryland area. Very nice week we had down there, but a little bit different with the restrictions put in place with COVID-19. So we did our best to keep safe while we were down there, myself and my family, but it was good to have that week off. And now we're back to the normal routine, daily forecast videos Monday through Friday, and then the weekend forecast video, of course, on Saturday. And I will have the long-range update this Friday publicly. We didn't have that last week since I'm the one that does that for the company. So we will have that this Friday, the update. But this is for this week ahead, and we're going to start off with hot temperatures today. There's probably going to be the peak of the hot temperatures because the ridge at the 500 millibar level will be right over top of the region. Right at strongest point. So I think today is not going to be an overly oppressively hot and humid day. I don't think the humidity is going to be a big deal, as it wasn't really yesterday either. And it's going to be kind of the reverse here today, where the southeastern areas will have a very similar day to yesterday with very little humidity, and then further northwest will have a little bit more humidity creeping into the picture. So it's kind of backwards. Usually expect that to be the other way around. But there is a cold front that's going to approach that's going to come on Tuesday, and a prefrontal trough boundary that's going to try to extend into our parts of our, well, maybe our far western areas or far northern areas. It might clip you here with something today. But I think your higher humidity value is going to be up there. But otherwise, temperatures today are going to be climbing well into the 90s here. Generally mid-90s for most, and some areas will get in the mid to upper 90s even. For high temperatures today. So a very hot day, but again, further southeast, not really too humid. A little bit more so up here in these areas here, some from generally Harrisburg to Lehigh Valley and points north. Same thing here in northern New Jersey. Could be some hotter heat indices there with the combination of temperature and dew point being higher. So that is going to be today, and then I don't see too much of a change here on Tuesday, except we're going to have higher humidity just about everywhere ahead of this front. The interior is going to cool down a little bit because you're having a cold front come through, and ahead of that cold front, further south and east, you're going to have temperatures go right back into the 90s once again. So heat wave continues here for Tuesday as well. Here is that front that's coming through here on the GFS, and most models are showing this frontal boundary bringing some scattered showers and thunderstorms late in the day. The NAM, though, is not too thrilled with this idea. Starting this off at noon, there's nothing here at this point, and this is on Tuesday. Not looking at anything today. Actually, let me back up to Monday here just real quick, because it does show right along the, mainly north of us in the New York area, maybe New York, Pennsylvania border. Might have a quick shower or a thunderstorm closest to the New York, Pennsylvania border, but I don't think anywhere else really gets into that today. Once we get into, and this is going to be late if it does, it's going to be during the evening hours. And then once we get into Tuesday, here's that cold front approaching, but there's very little activity here on the NAM. Just a little stuff here in northern New Jersey here. Some stuff further south here. This is very few and far between, and I don't know that it's going to exactly transpire the way this is showing with very little activity. Storm Prediction Center at the time of this video had a marginal risk out in these areas here, so not for severe. I don't think it's going to be like an overly active severe day here on Tuesday, so don't get the wrong idea. But there is some very high instability. The D-Cape is very high. There's some pretty good lapse rates. The shear, though, is lacking a little bit, so these are going to be slow-moving, and with a lot of moisture content, you could have some locally heavy rainfall with any of these, even though the NAM is really not thrilled with this. I'm not really sold on this idea, though, so we'll examine this again in tomorrow's video. And again, this is a cold front moving through the region here on Tuesday, so it will knock back the humidity at least, and temperature somewhat. So we're going to go from low to mid 90s, or maybe in today's case, mid to upper 90s in some spots. So generally mid 90s, and then you're going to have temperatures drop back to near 90 on Wednesday and Thursday, it looks like. And this boundary is going to go off to our south and kind of just sit there. There's a reinforcing boundary that's going to try to come through here late Wednesday into Thursday and set off to our south here. And there's some impulses are going to move along that stalled boundary off to our south here toward the end of the week. At the same time, you have like a piece of a upper level trough, mid level trough trying to settle in at the same time with high pressure trying to build in. So this boundary is off to the south here. Along that, there's going to be little impulses moving along that produces showers and storms to our south. If that boundary does not get that far south, or this trough does not dig in this far southward, some of that could sneak into at least our southern areas here. So we'll keep an eye on that for the next couple of days. But right now it looks like a mainly dry stretch as we go to the end of the week with partly to mostly sunny skies. As a matter of fact, the further north you're going to go in our coverage area, you have a better chance at full sun versus partly cloudy in the middle and maybe some partly to mostly cloudy episodes further south with some areas getting into, southern areas getting into shower and thunderstorm activity toward the end of the week. But I think it's going to remain mostly dry for pretty much everywhere else. Once we get into the weekend, though, or actually late week and weekend, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, temperatures are going to go back closer to near average for this time of year, maybe very slightly above. So we're not going to deal with 90s, most likely like mid to upper 80s that we're dealing with here Friday, Saturday, Sunday for most areas. And we also have another system coming in from the south here. Now, we're going to have to watch this because this is the GFS trying to project a tropical system that's, out there in the Atlantic quite a bit, approaching the Leeward Islands. And what it does down the road still remains to be seen. So we have no idea what this is going to do yet. It's too far out to really speculate, but there is some indications there's going to be a warm front drag through the area, maybe some scattered showers and thunderstorms later in the day on Sunday, if that were the case. But we're a long way from figuring this out yet. This is the end of the 7-day forecast period. Might have some tropical moisture involved in this. We'll see. We'll see. Might not even be here. Okay, so we'll just kind of cross that bridge when we get there. It does look like for the most of the week here, except for thunderstorms on Tuesday, maybe something on Sunday if this kind of materializes in this manner here, but most of the week otherwise is pretty dry, and we're not dealing with too much in the way of precipitation. But we will have hot temperatures, exceptionally hot today, and again on Tuesday. Again, the humidity is going to increase everywhere, even though the temperatures are going to be confined to more south and east than they are going to be today, but a little bit more widespread. And we have the humidity increasing on Tuesday ahead of that cold frontal boundary. And then once that moves through, humidity at the very least is going to lower back to what they are kind of like yesterday, okay? And then we'll have that humidity stay on the lower side through the end of the week, and then the temperatures are going to come down by the time we get to Friday and stick with that through this upcoming weekend. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for July 27th, 2020. Have a great Monday.